You might have clicked on this video because you saw the name Andrew Tate on a video, but this video is not about bashing Andrew Tate and it's not about glorifying Andrew Tate. In fact, if you stick around for the next few minutes, you learn some things about yourself. The video is about a comparison between someone like Andrew Tate and someone that he might refer to as a brokie. Same story, similar backgrounds, okay? Different perspective, therefore different outcomes. So this video is more about helping you. So just stick around. This might help you. Today, I want to share something with you guys. I watched a video last night of Andrew Tate and a Dr. David Sutcliffe. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And I got so much insight from that. And I think it can help a lot of people. I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm more into spirituality and people building themselves. So I learned so much from watching Andrew Tate clips and videos here and there. And what made me watch the entire video about him is like, everybody wants to know his real intentions. Where this come from, how the person like that is built. So I listened to it and I'm telling you guys, it's what you're doing versus what he's doing. What he's thinking versus what you're thinking. Your mindset versus his mindset. That's what it is. That's the difference. Not you becoming him. That is a clear example how some people's mindset keep them back. Now here I'm going to compare an ordinary person with Andrew Tate. The ordinary person's mindset. My dad left us, abandoned. Tate. My father was a busy man. Important. What else does he say? He was famous. He was a big deal. Had to do what he had to do to survive. On the other hand, the person he would refer to as a brokie, my father abandoned us. Now he says had to do, so my father wasn't present. He talks bad about his dad in general. Deadbeat. Hero. Okay. So remember, similar stories, different perspective, different outcome. So now what we know about Andrew Tate dad is what he said. His father was not present in his life. His father traveled all over the world playing chess. He was a famous chess player. We know that he also said that he saw his father probably once a year, I think he said in that interview. He says that his father wasn't home and he didn't belong at home. He wasn't supposed to be. That's my mother's job. And those are the type of things. He talks very highly about his father, even though it's obvious to us because he doesn't make it a secret. He just glorifies it. His father has nothing to do with his success for what we can see in society, right? He has nothing to do with his success. In fact, probably contributed to how he grew up. He had a very poor upbringing and he has a very poor view of women. And now I'm going to go to the second part. So we know that he glorifies his father and his father abandoned them from a young age. I think he said 8 years old. And it was him and his brother and his mom struggling as far as we know. But the way Tate look at it is in a positive way. He's like, he was a busy man. He was important. He was famous. He was a big deal. Had to do what he had to do as a man. He was a hero. He was doing manly things. And this person say, my father abandoned us. He wasn't present. He talks bad about his dad. He's a deadbeat. He never done nothing for me. So anything I achieve, I don't contribute it to my mother, not to my father, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So now we know that part. So now I'm going to erase that part right here. Now, if we look at Andrew Tate's view of women, let's go with Andrew Tate first. From what I have learned about him, okay? Just using my words. He sexualizes women. In my opinion, okay? I said I'm not bashing him. This is my opinion. Sexualizes women. Women want money. The man is supposed to go out and get this money that the women want, right? That's all we want. He doesn't feel sorry for women. When they cry, he says that these people's trying to manipulate him. So now that tells us about his mindset. The way he talks about love. And I don't disagree with him in some of what he says that some people might disagree with. I believe that there's more than one way to show love. But his way of showing love, he says, if I love you, I tell you what to do because I care about you. And if you love me back, you listen. Hard on women. Now, how does he talk about his mother? Little to no story about mom. But he said in one interview that he takes care of her financially. I believe, in my opinion, that he sees his father as strong and a hero and his mother as weak because his father was able to do that to her. So let's say he sees his mom as weak. He sees his mother as weak. Now this person might say, my mother is the strongest person I've ever met. Okay, I respect. He might say that women just want understanding, when Andrew Tate might say that they just looking for attention. This is his view on women. This person might want a close relationship and respectful, when Andrew Tate don't think a man belongs at home. He think the man belongs in the world, hunting for whatever food, women, whatever it is that he wants to be out there hunting for. All right. Let me read off some of what I have on my paper so that you guys can get a perspective, and then I'll tell you what I want to tell you. Ordinary person would think, or Brokie, as he would say, as Andrew Tate would say, my dad left us, abandoned me, my brother, my mom. I grew up feeling unwanted. That created struggle, doubt, and broken identity. Andrew Tate would say, my dad was a genius, a world-traveling chess master. I didn't see him much, but that made him even more powerful in my eyes. I admired him. That gave me strength, and that's why I became the man I became. Ordinary person would say, my mom held it down. She did her best. She was tired, stressed out, trying to survive. She did the best she could. Tate would say the opposite, okay? Or he wouldn't say anything at all. But he has referred to women in his conversation as like, oh, being a man being home, being nagged by his wife. So I think he looks to women like, oh, a wife like a nagging woman. And he probably thought she can't provide without a man, or not do as good of a job as a man could do. Somebody might say that he don't speak much about his mom because she didn't impact him in the way he believes his father did. An ordinary person's mindset on struggles and success. Because of pain, I struggle. I feel like a victim of circumstances. I couldn't see myself as great because no one told me I was. I don't know how to flip that pain. So in other words, you may not say it, but you might feel like if I had had a dad to guide me, or I can follow in his footsteps, I would have been more successful. Tate's mindset, my father's legacy gave me identity. I saw myself as his son, a winner, a bloodline. I turned pain into discipline and money. Yeah, these are things that he has said. An ordinary person's view on power, control, and love. Love is about mutual care. I don't try to control people. I love them. And like I said about Andrew Tate a few minutes ago, he says, I'm harder on the people that I love. And he also makes reference to, if they love me, they'll listen to me because I know better. He says he knows best. Let me tell you the mindset of the two. And I'm just going to sum it up at the end, okay? Ordinary person has a broken mindset. Andrew Tate mindset, resilient and driven. The broken person says, my dad abandoned me, so I feel unworthy. He might not say it. He might feel like he's not a big deal. So he's out there getting little jobs that's paying him a little money just to be able to eat, not to be able to succeed. My dad left me, but he was a genius. I must be too. That's Andrew Tate. The broken person blamed absence of love for emotional damage. Might not say it, but might be feeling it, okay? The broken person sees his mother as the one who stayed in struggle. The broken person says, I didn't make it because I didn't have support. I had to help my mother. I had to quit my job. I had to quit school early and go to work. The broken person feels victimized by his upbringing or his circumstances, okay? He sees love as mutual support and empathy, avoids risk due to fear of failure, internalizes rejection. That's the broken person. The broken person focuses on what was missing, and the broken person looks at struggle as proof of limitations. Again, you may not say it and you might not be aware of it, but that's how you think. That's how people like us, and with a tough upbringing and absent parents, because in my case was absent parents, how your mindset might have been formed and you don't know. So you just try to do just the, not the bare minimum, but just enough to stay afloat, not to reach the top, just to stay afloat. Just floating. Okay. So now Andrew Tate mindset on the same thing. Uses absence of love as proof of personal toughness. Yes. He sees his mother as weak because she lacked power. I'm not sure. I think I heard him say something like it. Not exactly this, but that's what I feel from watching that interview and from hearing. I watch his videos all the time. I can't say anything bad about the man because a lot of what he says I believe in, and a lot of things that he says, he backs it up with his logic and he connects the dots. It's like, oh, there might be some truth to that from his experiences, though. He says he made it because he feels shaped and sharpened by adversity, sees love as influence, leadership, and obedience, embraces risk as a requirement for winning, turns rejection into motivation, focuses on what can be gained from what was missing, looks at struggle as proof of identity. Now, I'm not saying you should live in a delusional world and you should develop this delusional mindset, even though I think it's okay to be a little bit delusional, to believe that you can, even the things that you don't think is at your reach. I'm not saying be like Andrew Tate. I'm just saying that you can learn from this example because he literally turned a whole bag of limes and lemon into lemonade. That's what he speaks about. That's what you should take from what he's saying. Not that he hates women and how much he loves it. You should take okay, this guy comes from a bad background, right? He didn't have a parent. The other parent probably had to work and probably didn't work, struggling, didn't have to feed them, blah, blah, blah. And she did that. Yo, that's similar to my background. So maybe if I stop looking back at the things that I didn't have, or and leave that stuff in the past, maybe I can move forward. But if I keep holding on to all that weight, it's keeping me here in the same place. I keep pulling it, but I'm not going anywhere. All in all, what I'm saying is I believe that there's power in flipping the narrative. That's all I'm saying. Now, I wish I knew that when I was in my 20s. So those of you who are younger than me, please open your minds to the possibility that you can be successful. Listen, that was my issue. That's what happened to me, my family, whatever, but I'm going to make it better. You don't have to turn into a person like that because I know people have many names for him. And I want to make the disclaimer. I am not a psychologist and I wasn't trying to psychoanalyze people. What I am is about spirituality. What I want is for people to become a better version of themselves, for you not to have your past determine who you are today, for that not to define you. That's all I want from people. The day I went through my spiritual awakening, I say, this is what I want to do. I want to tell people that we have been lied to. All right? Bye.